Hello, welcome to Greta's Garden. Today is a very nice day. It's 22 degrees. There is no wind. That's the big piece for me. We've had a couple of days of wind that wasn't extreme for us. It was 45 kilometers, but it keeps you inside. My poor little squash plants that I had put out, my tomato plants, I've lost some. Just whipped and whipped and whipped windruck. Is what it is. We're always going to get winds, and we've yet to get the hurricane season coming towards us. But today, on a good note, I'm going to putter around, get some of those jobs done, and just enjoy this day. Well, this always makes me happy. All my little seedlings that I grow throughout the off season to prepare to go outside are now outside, and my living room floor I have back. So with all my plants out and most of my seeds in, though I'll do some today, I'm going to carry on with some of those jobs. We never get to rest as a gardener, so I'll do some weeding that I'm behind in. I will try to get some of the compost out from that crazy bin we have. I'll grab some seeds that are old that I just want to throw in a patch I've got. I'll talk about that. And I'll show, I've had a series of questions in a row actually regarding a follow-up to my berry cuttings that I've taken. So I'll show you those. I planted bush beans in this row, specifically the ones for drying, and my yellow-eyed beans didn't pop up at all. And I realized last year, I think I blamed a mouse for that, but they're just not viable. They're not coming up. So what I'm going to do, I have some squash seeds, winter squash, that I purchased in 2019 with high hopes. This is when I was first going to go at my squash here without a greenhouse. With high hopes, and I got some lovely ones. I got the Moringa, the Rouge Vive de Tempe, the Galliot. I mean, the dream pumpkins that I wanted of the, the princess squash. And I got a few, but very small, and they just have too long a growth time. But since nothing's here, these are 2019 seeds. Winter squash seeds only last about 5 years max anyway. I'm going to get rid of all these packs, stick them all in here, water it well, and see if any come up. But I'll put them around my garden to see if I can get anything. Nothing lost, nothing gained. So, in go an over excessive. I'll just plunk them out and transplant them here. So I'm putting these in everywhere close, just to see if any of them are still viable, will come up. It's better than just throwing all the packs out. Give them a fighting chance. I'm always weeding as I go, which we have to do, especially after some heavy rains, which we've had. But in my strawberry bed, which is very easy to pull out grass and a lot of weeds because the whole roots just come right out. One of the things I do have a problem with is, I think it's creeping buttercup. what a nuisance. And it spreads its runners. It certainly creeps, but you have to get underneath to get the roots out. You can't just pull it. So here's a trick from me. If you don't have a hori or any lovely gardening tools, which I do not have, don't despair. Grab a fork, dig down under, and yank that thing out. Oh, see, they go so deep too. There we go, roots and all. I got some of them out. Such a nuisance plant taking over the strawberry bed because it just crowds everything out and chokes them out. But the fork is brilliant for getting under because this portion right here is under the soil. So you've really got to get down there, and makeshift tool works. Now this is a cold compost where I put all my kitchen scraps. These are, right now I trimmed my tomato plants indoors. And then, you know, egg cartons and flyers, and I periodically pour water in it also. Now Bruce normally does this for me. God love him. I'm going to try to do it myself today. Looks like ants are in there. Let's give it a go. Well, I got a little bit out. Bruce normally does this for me, and I see why. It's quite exhausting to get it out of there. Like I said, not the best setup. The worms in here, the soil is gorgeous, and the worms are just so many. Look, beautiful. So this will do me for now for what I have in mind. I'm pleased. I see there's berries on here, which means they were pollinated. So getting to my follow-up with my cuttings that I've taken from my berry bushes. This one's haskip, and I took 3 cuttings from it last summer or near the end of the summer. I'm going to take more probably today and use that lovely compost I just got. I tossed 2 away because I didn't think they rooted. They had a little bit of leaf, but I didn't think they were rooting. It's my error. I realize now that the leaves come out before the roots. Someone told me on my YouTube. Thank you very much, Mike. But here, I'll bring you closer in a minute. This is the one that did lovely. Obviously, it's not yet ready to pollinate this one. It's the same plant. But I think this gets pollinated, and another viewer thankfully told me that it's probably all these blueberries here that pollinate this bush. But I'm going to keep getting cuttings because I do like this haskip. It's sweet and just lightly tart. A lot of people say they're very tart. This must be one of the sweeter varieties. I don't know what it is. But this is my haskip cutting. Here's where my red currant, black currant, and raspberries are. I have a gooseberry also. I can see why you're inquiring as to I haven't shown them. This is messy parts. And I guess I just skip over it. I don't mean to. I'm not offended by my messy parts. I'll speak to that, but I'm going to bring you down to show you how things are here. Here's a raspberry. Looking okay, just buried. Here is a blackcurrant. Here's another raspberry just starting to get its fruit, it looks like. It did flower. And another blackcurrant. It does have leaves there. And this blackcurrant cutting has amazed me. It's leafing out, taking hold, but look. Isn't that amazing? 2 blackcurrants. But in future years, these will be gorgeous. There's another one there. There's a raspberry hidden in that mess. Another black currant or red currant, I'm not sure what's what. This one doesn't seem to have taken, but it looks like almost some buds at the top, so I'm going to leave that. There's another currant, leaves there. Oops. A tiny currant, leaves there. And over in this last bit, that little pit there, is my gooseberry. So I'll explain a bit about my cuttings from my berry bushes. Defend the mess they're in, I guess. When I purchased raspberry roots, dry roots, and said to Bruce, where are we going to put these? You know, they invade. I don't want them near my beds. They're prickly. And we decided on this piece of land out here that we can't do anything with. We can't mow it. We're leaving it to nature, which is, we try to do that anyway, aside from a piece of, you know, a patch of grass around us. It's just important to us to leave what we can to nature. But when I put them there, I said, this is going to be overgrown in no time. Throughout our area here, we've come across all the time, it's old homesteads, the ruins of the old homesteaders is here, and we come across raspberry patches and go to town picking them, and it's lovely. So that's where our brains were, my brain was, when I thought it's okay if it goes wild there. It's what's happening all over Newfoundland anyway, and they produce great crops. Having said that, my vision for the future, when I can get my hands on some affordable mulch, maybe it's on sale, cut back the weeds around and mulch over. So that is my intention. But right now they're taking root, they're just taking off, and I'm pleased with all of those. Now the haskip, I had 2 questions in a row with that one, and I took 3 cuttings. 2 of them, as I said, I realize now I should have let them go longer, but that one's doing beautiful, and so I'm going to take more. What a great, inexpensive way to get more berries, propagate your own. It's so easy. So don't judge me for the mess there. I'll work on it. It's just not priority when food, vegetables are. Well, we gardeners get it done bit by bit. I think that's the key too. Not get stressed. I see people with lists and things, and it drives me crazy because I think that's so stressful. Just go out when you can, do what you can, take the small bites. We'll get there. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.